Hi, welcome to Zydoxa. Now, today we're covering the horrendous Annunciation Catholic Church shooting in Minneapolis. On the morning of Wednesday the 27th, just 2 days after the start of a new school year, the Annunciation Catholic school pupils, aged between 6 and 15, congregated in the adjoining Annunciation Catholic Church to partake in Mass to celebrate the start of the school year. Whilst in the church, a person open-fired through the windows of the church. They rained bullets down onto the unsuspecting children while they sat in the pews. 2 children died. They are 8-year-old Fletcher Merkel and 10-year-old Harper Moisky, and 15 children and 3 adults were injured. The shooter then reportedly turned the gun on themselves and ended their own life. This is what we know so far about the shooter. They were a 23-year-old born male named Robert Westman and had recently identified as a trans female and changed their name to Robin. Now, I feel that anyone who commits a crime like this does not deserve to have their name used. So, for the rest of this video, I will just call them the shooter. In a news conference yesterday, Minneapolis Police Chief Brian O'Hara said that the shooter had purchased the weapons used legally. They were a rifle, shotgun and pistol, and the police recovered 116 spent rifle rounds, 3 shotgun shells, and 1 live round was found in the pistol that had appeared to have malfunctioned and was stuck in the chamber. Along with these weapons, the police have recovered large numbers of other weapons at 3 addresses linked to the shooter. They also recovered hundreds of pages of writing by the shooter, which showed hatred towards pretty much everyone. For example, Catholics, Jewish people, homosexuals, black people, and especially children. Their writings showed how they wanted to watch children suffer. Along with all the ramblings of a madman, the shooter uploaded 2 videos to YouTube, which have since been taken down. And in these videos, the shooter had a drawn map of the inside of the church and gun magazines with writing on like "Kill Donald Trump" and "Kill the children." They also idolised some of the most notorious school shooters and mass murderers in US history. Now, as mentioned, the shooter had a hand-drawn map of the inside of the church. The reason they knew the layout of the church was because they had once been a pupil at the Annunciation Catholic School, and their mother used to work at the church. The police have been trying to speak to the shooter's mother, but she appears to have gone into hiding. She's not at their home, and no one seems to know where she is. She has, however, got herself a lawyer, so I believe it shouldn't be too long before she speaks to authorities. As you can see from the footage at the side of the church, the narrow windows that are boarded up are the windows the shooter shot through. The pews the children were sitting on line up with those windows, so the police chief thinks the shooter probably couldn't see who they were shooting at. This footage you are now seeing is of the apartment building and the door of apartment 7 where the shooter lived. A resident witnessed the police leaving the property with what they think was at least 10 large guns. Now, the mayor of Minneapolis has asked for a statewide and federal ban on assault weapons which, as a Brit, I don't really understand that. You know, we had one major school shooting and banned all guns. There are some exceptions, but where the public are concerned, we just don't own them. We can walk down the street and children can go to school without the fear of being shot. So I think a ban on all guns would probably be wise. However, this is not the time for this discussion. This is a time for prayer and support for the families and children affected by this tragedy. The shooter was obviously mentally ill and must have shown signs of this in the years and months leading up to this event. We question why nothing was done. Did their mother seek help and the mental health services let them down? Or did no one seek help and just bury their head in the sand? To think about it, we're lucky that more children weren't killed. But my thoughts and prayers are with those affected. Let me know in the comments if you have any information to share about this case. Please subscribe and interact with the channel so I can continue with these videos, and I hope you join me in the next one. Bye for now.